Hello, in this video, we are going to make 3 different types of buttons. Each one will have a default state, a hover state, and a focus state. And then there's a set of standard buttons, a set of smaller buttons, and a set of call to action buttons. All right, let's get going. Hello, let's make some components with multiple properties. So I'm going to make a set of buttons that are the standard buttons, then I'll make a call to action button, then I'll make a smaller button. So here we go. I'm going to use the type tool. I'm going to use the letter T to select the type tool and click. And I'm just going to use the word button for now. So now that I have this, I want to make it an auto layout. So I'm going to choose Shift A to make it auto layout. You can always right click on things and choose add auto layout. And I want to make sure that it is direction is vertical. I want it to, I want the text to be center aligned. Cool. And now I should be able to, let's zoom in on this thing. There we go. That's better. If I stretch this, it's been happening all day. I don't know why it should be like both sides. Anyway, I'm going to do 16. Oh, that's too big. 16 and 8 for the padding. And then let's give it a color so we can see it. What color should our button be today? Let's go for a nice teal. I'm going to do a dark one for the default and then give it some white text. So I'm going to change this to white, FFF. And let's give it some corner radius. I'll just maybe give it 16. Too much. Let's just do 8. Look. Corner radius 8. Okay. Let's also give it a stroke because I want to have a focus and I want the focus to be like a thicker border. So not loving that design, but we're not here for design. We're just making buttons. Cool. So I'm going to click on the frame and I'm going to say Command Option K or Control Alt K on a PC. You can also right click, but we're going to make a component. So I'm going to do Command Option K. So now I have this component. I want to add a variant to it. There's a couple ways to do it. On the right-hand side, there's this little diamond shape with a plus in the middle. You can click that, or you can also right-click and say main component, add a variant. So this variant, I'm just going to swap the colors. So the text will be the teal. The box itself will be white. And the stroke will be teal. Cool. So there's our second version. And let's make one more that is focus. And I'll just keep it the hover color, but also make it have a thicker border. Maybe 3. Okay. So let's name these things. So if I click on the frame and I head over to the right-hand side to the very top, it's just called property 1 right now. So I'm going to change this to button. And I'm going to name these variants. So this one we'll just call it default. This one will be our hover. And then the third one will be our focus. Cool. So there's our first button set. I'm just because I need to, I'm going to name this buttons. Just habit. Name things. Naming things is good. So let's test this out. I'm going to make a frame. So I'm going to click the letter F. And I'm just going to draw a small frame big enough to throw a button into. I'll just call it test for fun's sake. Cool. So now this is a component. You can tell it's a component because it's got solid purple diamonds. If we go up to assets now, it will be available in our libraries. If you don't see it immediately, you can click on this created in this file, and it'll show you all the components that were created in the file. So I'm going to drag that over. So now we have our button here. I'm going to do a little prototyping on it. So I'm going to click prototype. The first interaction I'm going to do is a click. So up under prototype, there's interaction section. You're going to hit plus, and then we're going to say on click, and the action is going to be change to, and then we'll change it to, oh, I meant on hover. While hovering, change to hover. And let's do a dissolve for the animation. Cool. So let's test this. So I'm going to click on the name of this frame, and I'm going to type shift space. This will give us a little preview. Also, if you go up here to the prototype play button, right next to it, there's a down arrow, and you can choose either present or preview. Preview is kind of like a nice quick test. So I'm going to open it up. I made it very small, apparently. So here is our hover button. Let's add a focus state. So I'm going to go back up to prototype, and we're going to add a second interaction. So, I need to click on the button first. Our interaction is going to be on hover, or while pressing. Yeah, while pressing. And it is going to change to focus. Okay. Cool. So let's try that. Now, if I hover, I get white. If I press, I get that little dark focusy button. Cool. So there's our first set. Let's make set number 2. Let's just get you out of the way for now. Cool. So I'm going to expand these buttons, and let's make a small set. Whoop. Click, click, click. So I've shift clicked on 3 buttons, and I'm going to drag and option drag over so I can make a new set. And all I'm going to do, I'll go back to the design tab. I'm going to change the font size. So let's click on the word button. It's 12. That's pretty tiny. I should probably make these bigger. We'll live in small land. I'll change the padding to, is that really? And then 8 and then 4. Sure. Okay, 8 for the sides, 4 for the top and bottom. 8, 4. Cool. So now if we go up to the top, we've got button, and there are now 6 different variants. But what we actually want is 2 different properties instead of just the one button property. So I am going to I'm going to click this whole thing. There it is. Okay, so if you click the entire component, now I can add a second property. So I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to call it size. It's going to be a variant, and we'll call it size. And default is fine. Maybe I'll call it standard. Standard. Create property. Okay, so the first one is standard. Let's make sure all of these are standard. So see on the right-hand side, first one is default standard, then hover standard, then focus standard. So these ones I want to all be, add a new thing. I'm going to call them small. Cool. So now if we go back to our prototype, where did I put it? There it is. And I click on this. I have the option of changing not just the state of the button. Oh, that's funny. I guess it kept the other ones. We'll figure that. Oh, right. I didn't call them hover focus. I can change not just the button state, but also the size. So I could change this to small. It will show up small here. Let's fix that. other problem. So this one is the default. Sorry, this one is hover, and this one is focus. Okay, cool. So now I have two sets. One is standard, one is small, and maybe I want another set that is a special call to action button. So same thing, I'm going to option drag over a set, and I'm going to click on the component itself. And under size, under button, let's see, I'm thinking size. I guess it's type of button, not size. Type. It's kind of like type and state. Did I do that right? Type. Yeah. Okay. So I just renamed it to type. These ones are going to be CTA. So can I add a new one? This one is a CTA. So call to action button. This one should be default. This one should be hover. This one should be focus. So maybe my call to action is just orange or something. Let's get an orange color. Not a great contrast on that. Not a fan. Maybe we'll do red. Red is so... I don't know what color to do. There, that's a good color. Cool. So we're going to do orange. And then, so this one, I'm going to change the teal to the orange. And I'm going to change the border teal to orange. What? Whoa. Orange. There we go. I think I was clicking on teal. Cool. So now let's just check our work. This is a default CTA, a hover CTA, and a focus CTA. So if we go back to our prototype, now we have all kinds of options for our button. We have standard type, small type, and we have CTA. And let's test something. So if this should, it doesn't affect the prototyping. So once you set your button up, it's good. Maybe that's not hovering. Press. While pressing, change to focus. Oh, type standard. Okay, there you go. So you do need to change it. CTA. While hovering, change to hover CTA. Cool. Okay. So this is a button set, and now I'm going to do a tab set in the next video. Thank you.